Always waiting for number one.
I know. Yeah, me too.
It's so professional. Hey everybody, how's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the Superior Adventures Guild. My name is Dave, and I'm stoked once again to be hosting this awesome table of players. We are playing House of Eidolons. If you don't know what that means, you better get schooled real quick because it's a badass cyberpunk game where this crew pulls heists and gets into trouble. Lots of trouble. Did I mention the trouble that we're about to get into? Thank you all for hanging out with us, whether you're here now live on our Twitch channel or if you're watching this in the future over on our YouTube. Thank you for supporting the channel. We appreciate you very much. And get goofy in the chat. We love goofiness. Play along with us, I guess. I would love to. I don't know what I'm doing. I think I have announcements to do or something. Where's the producer with my notes, my show notes? So, guys, real quick, I want to make sure that we do a couple of quick shout outs. And the first one is to the American Red Cross, who is continuing to support the people who are being impacted by the fires in California. I'm going to post a link here in the chat. If you have the means to help support the Red Cross, even a small donation can be really helpful if a lot of people make those small donations. And if you can't, that's also okay. You can help by spreading the word and letting people know that there are ways to help people, and this is one of them. So I put a link in the chat. Feel free to share that link, click on it, and donate if you can. We're just trying to do our little part to help people, and we do that pretty regularly around here. So it's something that we like to say. We can be heroic at the gaming table and in real life. And so we have risen to the occasion on many times over the course of this channel's lifespan. I don't know. And I'm really proud of that. So let's see. The other thing I want to make sure that I shout out, because we haven't really talked about it yet, is that this Saturday at 12 p.m. Central, we've got a giant problem. And that is the title of a Greyhawk two-shot that we will be starting on Saturday. We're going to be playing in the wonderful world of Greyhawk with some great people that you'll recognize. And we are all playing giants. So it's going to be very interesting. We are going to destroy some structures and throw humanoids around like they are toys. So yeah, it's going to be a wonderful rampage. Please check that out. That is Saturday, 12 p.m. Central. And now what I'd like to do is go around this tabletop and have these beautiful people introduce themselves, and I will drop links in the chat as you do so people can find you in the interwebs and connect with you. And then we'll end with Paul, and Paul, then you can take it away and run with it. So let's start tonight with Alan. Alan, welcome back. We missed you last week. It's great to have you back at the table.
Thank you very much. It is very nice to be back. Kia ora, everyone. I am Alan Henry. I'm a thoroughly weird person. I'm a big nerd, and I do a lot of performance capture. If you've watched the films Cocaine Bear or Godzilla vs. Kong, I was the bear and King Kong. So I do a lot of strange things. And one of those strange things is playing wonderful TTRPGs with my good friends. And it's very nice to be back. And yeah, I'm playing Gideon. Gideon, the latent scion, who's just come back from the conclave and is looking ready to get stuck in with his pals here. That's me.
Right on. Glad to have you back. You're in for a treat. We have hatched a ridiculous plan. whether you like it or not, you're part of it. Let's jump over to Josh next. Josh, welcome back.
Thank you for having me back. My name's Josh. I am a giant geek. I'm playing Corvo in our game tonight. Corvo is not what you would call a subtle man, but by God, he's effective. So let's see how long it takes until we just start kicking doors in, I reckon. Yeah, I'm really excited. I'm looking forward to it. I hope that all of you guys have a spectacular time hanging out with us. And that's about all I got. I wish I had more. I wish I was doing.
Josh, I thought you said you were going to cosplay tonight.
I mean, I was going to, but I figured that the tack vest that I wear, obviously every day, is definitely the vibe for Corvo tonight.
It's a good look. It's a real good look. Thank you for that. Let's jump over next to JD. Welcome back, JD.
Thank you so much, Dave. I am thrilled to be here for tonight's train heist. I am playing Octavius. He is the face of the group. He doesn't need to get his hands dirty. We have to kill 4 people. He doesn't need to be involved directly in that, and I'm sure he won't be. I'm sure everything will go super smoothly and fine.
Here's to wishful thinking. I like it. Thank you so much, JD. And let's jump over next to Tara. Welcome back, Tara.
Hi, thank you. You know it's a problem when your DM or GM starts nodding his head like, "Oh yeah, that's gonna happen." No. I wanted to mention that tonight I saw the sunset and it was just really beautiful, and it's awesome. I just had to mention it. It was something that came to mind. I play Oaken May, and she is a mutagen druid who has 2 pets. One is a bat, and one is a squirrel. If you have anything that you want to ask me, you can ask me on social medias. Thanks.
Can I ask something right now?
Sure.
What are their names?
Oh, bat is Zip, and squirrel is George Michael.
Oh my god, I love that.
Naturally.
I forgot about George Michael. Oh,
how could you forget about George Michael? I mean, how could you, Dave?
I know. I'm so
lie.
sorry.
No one forgets about George Michael.
Last Christmas, he gave you his heart.
Yeah.
The very next day, you gave it away.
How very dare you?
How could I forget? I'm so sorry, George Michael. All right. Now, last but not least, let's jump over to our game master, Paul. I just want to say thank you once again for bringing us into this world, for sharing your creativity. I should also shout out Josh, our producer, a different Josh, also a very big nerd. We'll have to put the two next to each other and size up kind of thing. But thank you, Josh, for producing the stream and working with Paul to create this world in this game. This is fantastic. I'm gonna put some links in the chat to your website and also to the starter kit. So if folks want to sort of learn a little bit more about the mechanics and things, they can do that there. But Paul, please tell us a little bit about yourself and I don't know, what inspired it. I know like this could be a 3-hour discussion right now, but real quick, like what inspired you to create this game?
Yeah, hey everybody. Paul, Angelo, Andrew Getty, also Penburrow on social medias, and GM Penburrow, whatever. Yeah, what inspired me to do this game? In general, I was reading through Shadowrun, and I loved a lot of the ideas, and I hated trying to get any kind of player to actually be able to play it functionally. I'm not trashing Shadowrun. I'm just it can be a little bit convoluted and not a ton of support out there. And I was like, there's got to be an easier way. And then I was like, I know, I'll make my own. And that was not an easier way. It wasn't, but it was a very fun way. And so we just wrote like a, I don't know, 300-ish page rulebook on Cyberpunk Heist and what I thought would be a great system. So,
well, we're having a lot of fun playing it. So thank you for bringing it to the channel and introducing it to all these players.
Yeah. Well, with that, why don't we go ahead and jump in? It's going to be a packed session as we pull the trigger on a train heist. Not really a heist per se, but definitely a train assassination run on 4 different Apex security. So our team spent last session planning this bullet train heist. They need to take out 4 elite Apex security officers within the train. These officers, after their current job, which is to protect a very aloof, secretive individual known as Harper Kane, who is slated to become the CEO of a mega corporation, one of the few major mega corporations. And they want to take out his security detail so that security detail can't move on to the final destination, which is their final mission, which is running a mission against the R&D facility of Samsara Medical. And so they are now, the only opportunity they have is to board a bullet train running across the old Silk Road. It's a very elite train, so it's full of various civilian elite folk. They're supposed to keep casualties to a minimum. We'll see how that goes tonight. And they came up with this plan. First, Wyvern has the cover of going in as a or as somebody who's checking Neo Codex's handiwork. After they framed Neo Codex for their last mission, there's some doubts about Neo Codex's intentions and proficiency. So he has snuck in as a technician. He's going to check the security systems, but really kind of set himself up nicely for the actual heist. Meanwhile, Octavius, with the help of Corvo, gently took somebody's train ticket and identity and will be entering into the train as just a typical passenger, wearing their face, the full biometric rundown. Octavius is ready to be somebody else entirely and try to get close to Harper Kane and kind of be the inside lookout. As Corvo, Gideon, and Oaken come via hovercraft, jumping onto the top of this bullet train and descending down through one of the various hatches or crevices. So they'll be entering from the outside, good old cowboy style, and we get to see how this goes. Their targets are 4. There's Cruidible, the leader, who is a proficient katana-wielding militant, Apex security member. There is Voltara, who might be a problem if he gets anywhere near civilians, as he dual wields flamethrowers of different kinds, and seems to be kind of a not so subtle sort of character. There is Bishop, who they don't really have great intel on, but they've been told he always approaches from abstract angles, so he's going to be a tricky one to nail down. And then there is Weaver. Weaver is a drone controller, a mechanic, who will be likely held up someplace operating several remote drones simultaneously. These are their targets. Why don't we jump into it? You guys all ready?
Let's do this.
Huzzah.
So here we go. We begin mission at the entrance. I put both your tokens on here first, though. In theory, Wyvern, we will start with you. You come onto the train before it's crowded like we see now, so we can just disregard all the people. It's just a pain in the rear to remove them all right now. So you come in into the first passenger car. So this is the closest to the front of the engine. You're dressed in your technicianing clothes, and yeah, what are you doing?
I'm just here to do the security audit as instructed by the owners of the train, third-party auditor here. So I'm gonna basically what I'm trying to do here, Paul, is I am trying to access the main system of the train, yes, so that I can run a program, just a little program that I like to call Trapdoor. And it's got a little bit of an upgrade to it where it's now the trap backdoor. And I want to embed this program into the digital architecture of this here train.
Perfect. So you approach kind of the center of the train. There's nobody really. Actually, you probably go over to a seat where you slip into submersion space to begin your audit of the system. So why don't we...
Before I do that, can I order like some cucumber water or something to be sent over for when I'm done?
Yes, absolutely. The technician is like, I will get that to you right away, sir. So yes, cucumber water will be ready for you upon arrival. And
even though Corvo is miles and miles and miles away, I can still feel his eyes just burning into the back of my head right now. Stop it.
you hear Corvo in like over the internal comm net. Make sure you don't fuck this up, or I am going to be enormously disappointed with you.
And Gunvolt is going to be at the very front of the train, not the engine, but there you go.
All right. Ooh, yeah. Here we go.
All right, Wyvern, you enter into submersion space, and you are, you're in the cabin. You can see the node right next to you. Ice, looks like two beholders and a binder patrolling around, but since you're here on, official duty, they pay you no mind.
Okay. I am going to then access the node.
Yes.
Yep, and
drop
then
your, back door.
And drop my back door in there.
Your back door. Why don't you go ahead and make the check for back door, just so we have a baseline threshold for detection.
All right.
You want this to be pretty solid.
Yep. All right. So this is a
intelligence hacking.
Intelligence hacking. Thank you. All right. Oh shit, that's real nice. Hacking. Okay, so that's going to be 23.
23, very good. Yes, you root in your back door very casually, get it set up into the node. Before you jump out, is there anything else you would like to do?
Yeah, are there any other like security blind spots that I could specifically as it relates to the infiltration of the team? Sensors on the rooftop or any sort of
go ahead and make a net diving check.
Okay.
Guess I'll also throw your digidama in there.
Okay, not as good. I'm gonna use an edge die if that's okay.
Yep, that's totally fine.
Okay. There it is. Okay, so that's 15.
15. The rooftop does not have any scanners. It does seem like there is all of the roof hatches, so all of like the emergency exits on the roofs of the different cars, and then certainly the freight gate on the roof of the cars have security locks in place. So those would need to be hacked through to be opened, or the key code known for those to open those.
Okay, but those are accessible from this node?
The one at this car would be accessible from the node. Each car, you can tell, has a node.
Okay.
Of the train.
Gotcha. Okay. All right, so that's good information. I'm just checking to see if there's anything else. Yeah, you know, I'm gonna do some actual technician stuff to make there be a trail of the things that I was there to do. I'm gonna use things like my sweep eavesdrop to see if there's any sort of malware that's sending signals off the train. I might even after well, no, I probably wouldn't come out of submersion space. I really want that cucumber water, but maybe do like a like a system reset on some components of the system, just to to show that I'm doing things and make it believable. And also, I mean, I guess if I'm doing that eavesdrop, are there any data packets that are being sent to and from that might be of interest?
Can you make a hacking check?
Oh my gosh, okay. 13. 16.
16. Yes. However, it's very strange. It's coding like you've never seen before, or rather, coding like you've only ever seen in plunge space, which is highly complicated and like perhaps only the best Omni and net divers would be able to pull off this sort of it looks to be some sort of light surveillance networking going on in the train. Destination is really hard. You can't figure out where it's kind of like routing to, but it's certainly using plunge space. So likely it's routing over extremely far distances, because instead of it just kind of going to some localized, which you could detect through the submersion space layer, it's deeper than that. So some very sophisticated surveillance programming is in place that should not be here.
Okay, that's very interesting. I don't want to hog too much time here, but one last thing I would like to just see if it's possible. Could I use trace ping to basically tag one of those packets that's being sent and use it to track back to the location? It may not have anything to do with this mission, but I'm just super curious.
Yeah, why not? So you go ahead and embed a track ping into one of the packets and can check on it from time to time to see where it goes.
All right, very cool.
Perfect.
With that, I will come out of submersion space, and I changed my mind on the cucumber water. I'm just going to leave it where he set it down. I'm not going to touch it, and I'm going to take my leave.
Awesome. Okay. So he got you the cucumber water for no reason. He was thrilled by that, by the way. The custodian of the train.
I mean, I'll give him an attaboy. I'll give him an attaboy for sure.
Sometime later, so the back door is now quietly sitting on the node, ready for Wyvern to pop in, from anywhere, and at the time, so we're going to fast forward several hours, and the train opens for departure. People are coming in. It's a busy, everybody's kind of boarding roughly around the same time. JD, you arrive at the station. Before you board the train, is there anything you would like to do? Octavius, I should say, sorry. Octavius, you arrive at the station. Is there anything you would like to do before boarding the train?
I think aside from just scanning the crowd, seeing if there are any faces that jump out to him, there wouldn't be too much Octavius would do before boarding.
Go ahead and make a intuition check.
I would love to. Would I love to? Potentially. I would love to. That is a good stat for me.
This is definitely definitely your bread and butter.
20.
20. Most of the people, I mean, you recognize a couple different people, different potentially celebrities or things like that. You're definitely walking. I mean, this is a lot of money and power entering this train. No one that strikes you as Harper Kane, though you sort of suspect he has probably either is going to enter the train last minute or has already gotten here and his detail set up. But no one strikes you as terribly out of place. Everybody seems to be, average Joe Schmo. No Apex, none of that. And so as you enter the train, you come aboard, and the scanning device sweeps by you and welcomes you in as oh boy, let's see here, Bruce Lancaster. It says, "Welcome aboard, Bruce." And and you may go find it. It shows popping up on its screen on the overlay. It shows your designated seat, and that's about it. So from here, Octavius, what are you doing?
So I think the first thing I want to ask is, what are other people doing? Are people just kind of boarding, going right to their seat? Are they moving around? Because Octavius is going to follow the crowd, and if everyone's just sitting, he's going to do that. But if Bruce Lancaster can get away with a little bit of wandering first, a little bit of trouble finding his seat, then that's what Octavius is going to do.
For sure. Yeah, it strikes you as a naturally as like just a networking event. Everybody is like very few people are actually going directly to their seats. They're all mingling, talking, ordering drinks, this sort of stuff. This is definitely more of like a purely social event. You know, there's faster ways of travel than this. So people are having a good time. You seem like you could probably move between cars and stuff like that without really raising much eyebrows or anything like that.
Then I think Octavius is just kind of moving through the train cars, not necessarily with a specific destination in mind yet, shaking hands, saying hello, introducing Bruce Lancaster to the train. And I think he's doing it with just a little bit of, nervousness, the clear demeanor of someone who isn't so low class to not be on this train at all, but, won his ticket, because he sure did win his ticket.
Perfect. Go ahead and make a charisma check, and you can make that with your pheromones. Just as you... Or actually, why don't we do a guide? Because I imagine this is also kind of blending in so nobody really notices you, right?
Yep.
Perfect.
All right. That is another 20.
20. Perfect. You're able to move. Do feel free to freely move around your token in whatever direction you would like to go. You're able to move around and really without raising too much of a huff. If you left click on the doors will open, and you can freely move across. This is just moving in. This car is labeled the engine clearly, so through there you can kind of see the security apparatus, and as you move towards the security apparatus, it blurts out at you, access is not permitted to the engine.
Oh my god, I'm
Please
so
return
sorry.
to your seat, civilian.
I'm so sorry. And is apologizing to the computer.
The computer responds, it is all right. This happens more often than you would think.
Good to know. I'm glad I didn't just make a faux pas. Again, so sorry. Gonna move away.
And you move back out of the engine room. The door is sliding behind you, opening up for you as you approach. These are again, it's kind of that shatterproof glass. Oh, that's not locked. That's the bathroom. This one reads the bathroom to your left. And then just variable cabins 16 is here, then 15, 14, 13, and so on. Room 7 is down here. This, is the room Harper Kane is in. And room 16 is here. That's where Oaken is potentially in.
What can I see if I just kind of glance at the doors to those rooms?
Yeah, I mean, these are totally there's no windows or anything on these cabin doors. So generally it's just the placard. There's a little numbering of the train car, and then there is I think I described before, there's a handle with a little thumbprint that would, if your biometrics are allowed, would open.
And I think with that, as Octavius passes cabin 7, I think he just wants to kind of brush his hand against that fingerprint scanner and just see
And
what
you have
happens.
You have the open palm, right?
Mm-hmm.
What is the CSV PyPass?
Let me remind myself of that. I want to say
Sure.
it's 20. Yep.
Okay.
20.
20. Yeah, the door slides open. Whoosh. Surprisingly, and you see there's a man who has his back to you on a call. Seems like a businessman, and immediately a very formidable character who you are almost instantly sure of that this is Crucible. He has a katana like almost halfway drawn out, fully covered from head to toe in Apex security gear, and he's like, "You're not allowed inside of here."
I'm
the
so
person-
sorry.
Harper.
I'm
Harper
so sorry. I
Doesn't
didn't
even
mean
turn
it.
around. He's just on the phone. And
My hand brushed the door. I don't know. I don't know what happened. I'm so sorry.
And the security officer kind of slowly brings in his sword, but does kind of step to position himself between you and his client. And it's at that moment, Octavius, when the client looks over his shoulder and you see your face looking at you.
Yep.
Your actual face. And he just goes back to talking on the phone, looks back away, and the guard is like, "Please move along."
And I think it's helpful that Octavius was pretending to be so shocked and scared of this guard, because when his face pales, it just looks like he is scared by the large man wielding the katana. And then he just apologizes once more and makes his way down the hall.
And the door closes and locks in the hallway. So, Octavius, what are you doing now?
Boy, are any of the others reachable, or will they not be reachable until we're closer?
Nope. Everybody is reachable via EMS. You could reach out to them. And as you do, the train begins to move, lurches forward, and starts to move along its way.
Yeah, then you all get a message from Octavius, who says, "So, funny story. Would you like the good news or the not so good news?"
I always prefer getting the bad news first, so lay it on us.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Wonderful. So I don't need to borrow Harper Kane's face or biometrics because I already have them.
That's a
you mean?
remarkable turn
Oh.
of coincidence.
Yeah, all right. They have what? What does that mean? Like, did you grab them or?
No, I just look like him, or he looks like me, and I think we have the same fingerprints because I may have accidentally opened his cabin.
The you?
What?
Or
Whoa, whoa. Like, yeah, like what Vern said. You like he looks like Octavius, or he looks like this Lancaster fellow.
He looks like Octavius, so maybe make a quick check before you decide, well, we're not supposed to hurt him, but, before Corvo tortures me instead of him.
Physically.
Yes.
Just don't change your face back and you'll be fine.
That's a really good point, except that if we want to be able to access the item, I may just have to do that. We might not need Harper Kane to get the item.
That's fine. I've got some tape on me. I'll just put a loop around your arm and I'll not torture the person with tape on their arm.
Physically.
Corvo, always so many
note.
steps ahead. So
I
this
give
is
you my
something I'm going to have
bandana,
to
but I
process.
like it.
This could
Yeah.
this could
All right.
potentially make the job easier then, yeah?
That would be the good news part of this. The
Yeah,
bad news is
so-
the therapy that I'm going to need from this, but the good news is that
Oh,
this
so
might make
there's
our
only
lives
good
easier.
news for us then. The bad news is all yours.
Correct, Corvo.
That's fine.
Was it just, and it was just Harper Kane in there? You said there was another fella in there, yeah?
Yeah. I think it might have been Crucible. He had a katana.
Yep, that sounds about right.
Do you know what's nice about someone with a katana in a cabin? Not a lot of room to swing it.
Mm-hmm.
Corvo, I mean that's true, but he also seemed to have plenty of room to swing it.
That's okay. Bullet's still faster than a sword.
I figured you would still see that as good news.
Also, less places to hide.
Yeah. Well, that's good. We know where one of them is. That's all right.
Oaken would ask, hey, Octavius, did you get eyes on any of the other Apex security people?
Not yet, but I'm keeping my eyes out, and I'm gonna see about maybe making a quick loop back around before I go to my seat.
Perfect. Thank you.
I'll run a quick query as well with the facial recognition. We accessed the records of the passengers, and so I'll look for any unregistered faces in the crowd. Maybe that'll give us a little leg up as well.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Octavius, did you want to continue moving down through the train to the other passenger car, or are you heading back towards the first passenger car?
I think he'll try to at least kind of. What I'm imagining him doing is just making kind of a full loop, and then kind of heading back to a seat.
Go ahead and continue to move onward. And in the meantime, Wyvern, go ahead and make that roll. And as you roll, Wyvern, Octavius, you do see to your left there is a this looks like an entrance to a logistics room for the storage area. It says no access. It seems like it's a only for personnel, but it is just a simple biometric hand scanner for the staff. And then you know that around the corner would be the main entrance into the storage, the first freight. And Wyvern, what did you go ahead and roll?
Oh, sorry.
All good.
Am I hacking? Is that what I'm doing?
You're just checking the manifest. Go ahead and make a net diving check.
Okay. 21.
21. Okay. There is it. You kind of go over it. Nothing really stands out to you. But you give it 1 second sweep, and there is one name on there, known as Lewis Foster. He's in passenger car 1. And Lewis Foster reported in not being able to make the trip. But right before departure, Lewis Foster checked into the train.
Okay. I'll relay this information to my team. Possible mark on one Lewis Foster, passenger car 1.
Do we have a seat?
Yeah, seat would be, let's just make a 72.
And I will transmit the image of their face to the team, so they kind of have an idea of what to look for.
Just to be clear, Wyvern, is this the face that got on the train, or is this the face associated with the ticket?
That would be the one associated with the ticket.
Wrong one.
Oh yeah, right. Does it match up based on what I'm?
The biometrics seem to match, but the biometrics is only measuring like eye facial details and hand biometrics, and those all seem to match up. You don't actually have an image of the individual, but the biometrics reads as the same.
No
biometric
image,
scan.
but they're in their seat. So maybe Octavius, if you have a chance, you could take a quick peek.
Yeah, of course, Vern.
eyes
I can
on.
do that.
Octavius, you continue to move through the train.
I do. These doors don't seem to love me though, so I may need you to open
Oh.
them.
No worries. Yeah, I can open them. So this is passenger car 2. Similar, just tons and tons of people. And kind of socializing. Even as it moves, nobody seems to be sticking to their chairs terribly much, nor do the kind of custodian person at the back of the train is busy running back and forth, helping, bringing drinks, this sort of stuff. So he's not often in his chair, but rather catering to. Also, this to your left, right to your left, these are like lockers. So they're like for slightly larger things that won't fit, but don't necessarily need to go into. Yeah. And then you enter into the freight car too.
Octavius, are you am I able to see what you see? Are you streaming it to me?
Yes, yeah, absolutely. Streaming this to all of you so you can see what
Okay.
he's seeing.
So my question then would be, is there any way you can access somebody's luggage? Because if you have a different shirt on than your other face, we will know.
That is definitely an option. I mean, I am not dressed like Harper Kane, so, and then he would describe what he saw Harper Kane wearing. But I can see if I can borrow some clothing as we move forward. Always good, as your great idea, Oaken. Always good to have multiple outfits.
All I'm seeing is tape round the arm. It's fast and easy.
Octavius, can you go ahead and make an awareness check for me?
That I would love to do a little less than I usually love making rolls, but I will still happily make it.
Still happily make it. There we go.
Oh no, that's a lie, because that's still with wisdom. Never mind, I would happily make that. 15, 16, 22, 23.
23. Okay, thank you.
I love being asked to make awareness and then just get told thank you. That's not unnerving. This is fine.
All good. All good.
Yeah, the threshold for that one was clearly 25.
All right, and again, the machine yells at you as you go into it. You are not allowed in this section.
And Octavius is just like, it would really help if you would label them a little bit better. I keep getting confused about where I'm heading. I thought this was another cabin.
It is a large red grid. We tried very hard to make it very visible and obvious. You are not allowed past this point.
I'm so sorry. I'm colorblind.
Noted. We will take that into consideration next time. Please, find your seat.
And Octavius will head back towards his seat.
Perfect.
Checking in on seat 72, of course.
Yes, checking in on our new friend.
Yes, and as you make your way up there, slowly because it's a very big train, you pass seat 72, which is empty.
Okay. Interesting.
Is there anything else, Octavius, that you would like to do before arriving at the tunnel of execution, as we like to call it?
I hate that title, and I think I'll just say no. I'm good. You know,
Good.
I've had enough fun getting to meet myself and everything else.
Perfect. So Octavius, I'm just gonna zip you. Hold on. To pay. You see nothing. forget that I can move you through walls, and that's problematic. Okay, you continue on up back to your seat. And I don't know, we'll say you're sitting here. Okay. Team, is there anything you all would like to do? You're in the HV. It's on its way for the rendezvous. You will board the top of the train roughly probably about a minute before the tunnel, so you have time to make your access point and move in. Wyvern or any of the boarding team, is there anything you would like to do before jumping on? Okay, Oaken's shaking her head yes, vigorously.
First, I want to check in with my conductor friend and just let them know 1 minute to go. And that's all I'm going to communicate to him, nothing else. Then
he sends back a quick note to you just saying, when do you want me to hit the brakes?
I send that out to my cohorts and say, I don't know what to say to him.
Corvo, like, over the comnet, just says, tell him don't worry, he'll know when we want him to hit the brakes.
Perfect.
Now, are we going to drop in near the back of the train and make our way forwards, or?
That was my expectation. The general plan is sweep and clear as we move forward and lock the doors behind us, which I've made sure to equip myself for.
Mm-hmm.
I figure if we cut off movement between cars and particularly lock down as many rooms as we've time to, it'll lessen the amount of civilians that walk into the crossfire areas.
Mm-hmm.
But leaving anything unchecked behind us just seems like asking for trouble.
All right.
Wyvern, can you see if the hatch on the last one can be sketchy when we get there so that maybe we can dump in and nothing is wee.
Not a problem. Make my way to that area.
So you're entering in through your back door then at this point, Wyvern?
Yeah. Does the back door gives me? Yeah, back door gets me on the train, but is it only giving me access to the single node?
That's correct.
Okay. Yep. So I will enter through the back door. You might say I'm your backdoor man, and I will make my way to the rear car.
All right, you enter in through your back door, generating in with your Digidama. The ice continues to move. Can you make a hacking check for me?
Yeah, gladly. Okay, that is a 16.
Okay. Wyvern, as you generate back in, you can tell the ice is a little bit off kilter because you've already come and established your maintenance routine. So you're not actually scheduled to be in the framework at this time. However, with some quick hacking, you buy yourself some time, but at some point this ice is going to start to become agitated at your presence in submersion.
Sure. Yeah, I'm going to try to pass it off as though this is part of the overall security audit, that this is, don't worry about it. Everything's fine. There's nothing to see
You've just got a digital multipass?
Yep, that's right.
It's a 3-punch card. Okay. All right, Wyvern, go ahead and begin moving. You do have your Digidama as well, and you can, even see the digital trace of Octavius as well.
Okay, great. I'm just gonna whisper, "Hello, Octavius." And then, yeah, I guess I'm gonna make my way to the car that we had established as the entry point.
Yes. Okay. We'll save some amount of walking because again it's a long car. I'm assuming you want to grab nodes as you pass them.
Yes, absolutely.
So then we'll move you guys along. You grab the node to the cabin car. Enter into the first freight car. Seems that the node is in the freight room. Are you going in there to grab the node?
Not yet. I'm gonna
Okay.
stick to getting things prepped for
So
my
the
team.
rear freight car.
Yep.
Yep, no problem.
There's no need to, in my mind, there's no need to spring the trap until the rest of my team's here to enjoy it.
No problem. You grab the node in passenger 2 car and on into the last freight. So this is the one that you want to mess with the door. And so upon opening up, you move into the freight room. In this room, there's a brute ice wyvern. This is potentially can be a lethal ice. What they are is they're very durable. And they either try to manually eject you from submersion space, or they'll try to slate you, usually favoring ejection and also taking quite a bit to actually take out. But you move in, again, the ice is not quite agitated at you yet, and you get into the node. Go ahead and make a hacking check. You're just setting up the door to open when you need it to, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
That is a 20 total.
A 20, yes. You hack the freight door up above you, and it is ready on command to open.
All right, I've got control of the door whenever you're ready, Oaken.
I'm ready. I start to sync with my animals too, right now, before we get in, because
now,
they're in my.
Oaken,
Yes.
you can sync with one of your animals and still stay cognitively aware. Syncing with both of your animals will require you to become vulnerable and unconscious.
Okay, so let me just sync with George Michael, please.
George Michael, okay.
Good choice.
Zip will stay back, yes.
Oh no, I'm gonna bring Zip with me. He's in my coat
But you're
pocket,
syncing.
but I'm
Sure,
only
sure,
syncing
sure.
with George Michael.
That makes sense. Giddy and Corvo, anything before we start this train heist?
Before we debark, a piece of advice. My recommendation would be that while we're moving down the train, you don't move past me. I can cover for us. I can make sure that anyone shooting at us hits my shield or me first. But if you move past me, that's going to make it more challenging. The idea is to clear each room that we go past before we keep going, so that we know what we're leaving behind us. And the last thing we do when we leave a room is I'll lock it down and make sure that nothing can open those doors without some serious power tools. Clear?
Oh yeah, that's
Yes,
crystal.
sir.
In fact, I'm probably going to be quite far behind you, Corvo, because I got this. And he unzips like a big duffel bag. He's like, may I introduce the big girl? And he pulls out like a massive like sniper rifle. And he's like, yeah, me and the girl here can sit at the back. And I added a little finesse. This here scope will let me look through them walls and find any kind of heat signature that we might be looking for.
I mean, it sounds like a fun tool. Let's see how she goes.
Mm-hmm.
Mommy likey.
Oh, I know what the ladies like.
Oh, the other thing that's probably worth bearing in mind is the excuse for your contacts, Oaken.
Yes.
I've got that with me. I need you to know he's in no danger, but I will be selling it to him as very dangerous.
Okay.
Mhm.
Perfect.
Now, this conductor is that our psionic friend?
Yes.
No, that is him.
Mhm.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. Through the conclave,
Sven?
I got that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
All right. Okay.
And the hovercraft begins to descend into the mountains of Kazakhstan, coming down alongside the bullet train speeding past. We'll transition the scene to the exterior of the train. Near the rear end of the train, you'll see the hovercraft coming in onto the train, and it's coming in onto the tunnel is within sight distance in the mountain coming up. And yes, here your hovercraft pulls in. Your characters are right here. And would each of you either make a acrobatics check or a jumping check as you board the bullet train, and or have any sort of tools or anything else you would like to use?
Yeah. Gideon is absolutely using his grappling hook.
There we go. Okay, perfect. Gideon, you do not need to make this check. You simply latch onto the roof and zip over onto the roof.
Yeah, Gideon's just like, "I'll see you down there." And he's
Okay,
just it's like attached to the thing, and he's holding onto it just with one hand, like standing up, like he's water skiing behind a boat.
Worm riding.
Love it.
I didn't want, worm riding. There's a woman in the back. Yeah.
Yeah.
Corvo.
Yeah, I rolled a 9 on 4 dice.
All right,
which is
Corvo.
hell of a
You
start.
jump out and immediately lose your footing and slide back.
Oh, no.
Can I go ahead and have you make a resistance check?
Can I try and grab him to like get a hold of him?
Make a reaction check, Gideon.
Okay. I'm sure it'll be fine, guys.
I hope so.
Oh,
We kind of need Corvo.
I mean, that's a 10.
All right, Gideon reaches out his hand, definitely way too slow. Like Corvo has already slid past, like on this very, very fast-moving train. What was your resistance check, Corvo?
18. That's better.
Okay, Corvo. Before you slide into the crevasse between the engine car and this car, you like your thunder thighs like activate as like your tips of your toes and your hands like grab onto the surface, and you stop right before sliding off down into the crevasse. And Oaken, what did you roll?
8.
Okay, in this instance, Corvo, I would like you to make a reaction check as Oaken comes sliding right towards you. Oaken, I need you to make a resistance check.
Oh boy. 7.
Is everything going okay out there, guys? You guys doing okay?
Busy right now. Busy.
Everything's fine.
I got a 7 for reason.
Yes, and Corvo, your reaction check.
So I got a 12 there.
A 12. Okay. Corvo,
I have a question.
Yes.
Because the grappling launcher has, I can set it to let me do things like it can lock, it retract, it can repel, and it can free climb. Can I set it to repel so that it can feed out and I can run towards these two to try and help them stay stable?
I need you to make another reaction check because this is all happening extremely quickly.
Yeah, sweet. Okay. I'm sure it's gonna be fine, guys. I'm sure it's gonna be fine. It is not fine. That is only a 7.
You are definitely not fast enough.
Nope.
Corvo, you don't get knocked free. Like one of your hands gets knocked by Oaken going by you, and You think a little too late to grab her. Oaken, you fall into the crevasse. Oaken, I need you to go ahead and make an acrobatics check at this point.
Guys, the clock is ticking here. Let's get to work.
So that is a total of 8 for my acrobatics check.
Oh, sorry, Corvo, not you. You're good. You're good. It's the acrobatics is for Oaken, who's falling into the crevasse.
Oh no.
Oh.
14.
Hey.
14. Would you like to edge dice that, Oaken?
I
Make that
already
a nice
did.
15. Oh, you
I
already did.
already did.
Oaken,
Oh.
you
Sorry,
most...
at this point, I just need to mention that I have reactive countermeasures because of my nervous system. So I'm going to try and snatch out as I see Oaken slipping at this point, because I can interrupt any turn with a sub action.
Okay. Go ahead and make a grappling check. This would be under martial combat.
Under martial combat, singing my language. Love
Yeah.
that. That's, so I'm anchored at this point.
Yeah, you have both your legs and one of your hands on the ledge here, and you're reaching down very quickly as your reactive countermeasures kicks in. Does reactive countermeasures take an edge dice, or is it simply on a cooldown?
It does take an edge dice.
Okay, perfect.
But honestly, I'm pretty fine with that because I just rolled 35.
Oh goodness. Okay. You.
Thank you, Corvo.
Wow.
Like,
that's pretty,
I'll
that's pretty
spend
epic.
an edge dice for that. I'm good with that.
Fair.
So you grab Oaken before she falls, and it looks like she would have potentially fallen not exactly where the platforms were, so possibly could have been sucked under the train. And as you kind of grab her, she swings, and the down towards the door back into the freight room, and it automatically opens, and you go flying into the freight area. And Corvo, so you're gonna be inside now.
Yeah, like in my head,
Oaken.
it's basically me reaching out and then using Oaken's momentum as like the hammer shot to swing us both in to the door.
Oh, you're going in as well. Okay, yeah. And then you swap around and you get carried into the freight as well, leaving Gideon alone on the roof, just like trying to react, and then like suddenly they're gone.
Yeah, so yeah, Gideon's like, oh, damn it! It's like, thinking he's gonna see them down. I can't see them, so I think Gideon's like, oh no, Vern, they're gone. I don't know where they are. I think they got stuck under the train.
No, they're right here. Come on in. Let's huddle up.
Like leans down through the doorway, like, oh, there you guys are. Oh, I knew that the whole time.
Whole time.
All right, well, if you guys are done screwing around out there, we can get down to business.
I thought you said this was the easiest part. You all were excited for this.
Oaken, as you got swung down, I mean, you go literally catapulting into this wall over here. Not injured, but definitely shaken. You're kind of lying prone on the ground, and then Corvo, with much more grace, comes in, having been the one who redirected, and Gideon comes hopping down onto the train area over here.
Mm-hmm.
Wyvern, is there anything you're doing from the node?
I think, first and foremost, I want to know if any of the shenanigans that just happened on the roof were detected by any security systems. Like, have any alarms been raised at this point, or are we still good?
Do you have Sweep Sleuth, or are you just doing a net diving check?
Well, my Digidama does, I believe.
So you could either sweep sleuth it, though your Digidama will definitely be less dice going into it than you would with a normal net diving check. But it is a dedicated program.
Yeah, I don't have sweep sleuth, so I think that's what I'm gonna do. Yep.
Net diving or sweep sleuth with your Digi?
What would be I guess which one is more? I mean, I know that if I net dive, I get one extra die, so that's huge. But do they will they both kind of achieve the same goal roughly?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, all right. Well, then we will net dive. Okay, that is 17.
17. No security apparatus has signaled. However, and you can't pinpoint it, there is non-omni-end signaling taking place on this car. Can you make a technicianing check for me?
Yeah, I can. Okay, I think I'm gonna use an edge die.
Okay.
14.
14. This usually means, Vern, that somebody is controlling drones. Or contacting and communicating not via EMS, but rather via radio wave.
So this could be our Weaver. Is there any way?
Old school.
Yeah, real old school. Can I guess I could use ping to try to figure out where they're coming from, right? Is that
you could use ping.
For this?
You could also use eavesdrop, since that's about listening into signals that are being sent between individuals. So that would probably be a better use of than ping would be.
The only reason I was thinking ping is because I would like to know their location. Would eavesdrop give me their location as well as the information being transmitted?
Depending on the role, yes.
Okay, yeah, let's do it. Let's go.
And
try.
certainly, if you eavesdrop and you get into the signal, if commands are being sent, you could start to like triangulate and figure out where the signal's coming from, where it's going to, and that could help you locate as well.
And I can always drop a ping at that point as well, if I need.
Yes, and then if you identify possibly a location, you could ping it.
Yeah. Okay, let's do that. Let's go with an eavesdrop to start out here. All right. That's gonna do 19.
19. Would you like to edge dice that?
Yes, I would. So this is my third edge dice.
Also, make sure to add trace and remember that it's reduced by 25% in submersion space.
Okay. Yep.
Now, trace won't matter as soon as you're in that tunnel until you're not in that tunnel. So we'll keep track of it just to see how much trace you manage to rack up in the time. We're also going to say at this point, after the whole swinging down and getting into the train, we are about 30 seconds from tunnel entry. So about 5 player turns before you enter into the tunnel and it's blackout.
21 with the edge dice.
21. Okay. You now know this is very clearly drone control taking place. You're pretty sure that the signal is coming from somewhere in this freight storage area. And it is going to 3 separate drone units.
Okay.
Most of the commands that you're hearing is things like remain in subterfuge mode. Wait for the right moment.
Okay. And it's coming from the freight car?
Yeah, from the actual storage section. You don't know where in the freight car.
Okay.
So it's not coming like from out in the hallways or the logistics office, but somewhere in this main actual freight storage section. Yep.
Okay. All right. I will relay that, and you guys, I'm pretty sure Weaver is in the freight storage section of this car. got three drone units that are in subterfuge mode. I'm gonna see if I can't detect where they are right now.
Oaken will remind Vern 30 seconds. That's all you got.
Good to know.
He can do it.
While you're doing that, we need to go and deal with the rear engine car.
Perfect.
And Corvo's going to go.
Oaken, I assume you're standing up.
Yes.
Okay. We will go ahead and begin to move in sequence at this point. So, Corvo, if you're taking the lead, you can go ahead and move into the engine car. You enter in, the security apparatus is still functional. Yeah. What are you doing?
Wyvern, if you've got anything cute to do with this security grid, do it now. Otherwise, I'm just going through it.
Yep.
Wyvern,
Okay.
it's going to take you roughly 2 turns to move over to that node, since you haven't already gone to the engine nodes. So you can start traversing your way over there if you would like.
Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna quickly I'm gonna load excuse me, execute boost sprint, which should
Perfect.
allow me to get there quite a bit
Actually,
quicker.
If you throw the sprint onto your Digidama, which is already really fast, you can uplink her through your Digidama to that node, and your Digidama could make it in a turn.
And that's of course what I meant to say. Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah. All right, so you send your Digidama zipping over to that node, get to it, uplink. Would you like to try and hack this security scanner?
Yes, I would. I would very much like to hack this.
Can Corvo see my contact?
No, at this point, no. Corvo can only see the door into the engine room.
Okay.
I'm quickly running out of edge dice here, but I'm gonna go ahead and that was worth it. 19 total.
19. And are you hacking it to turn it off, or how are you hacking this? Are you just simply turning it off, or are you like entering in like approved Corvo's credentials or whatever?
Yep. I don't want to turn it off. I want to take advantage of it.
Perfect. Okay. So you compromise the system so that it will recognize Corvo as an approved, and well, for that matter, Gideon Oaken kind of enter it into its security recognition system.
Wyvern, am I clear?
Gideon.
Yeah, you're clear to go, Corvo. We've got clearance. Clarence.
Gideon, before we continue, Corvo, Gideon, what are you doing?
Vern told us that the signal was coming from that freight room, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So I think Gideon is going to unpack the big girl and fire up that scope and set it to the movement mode, and just like sit outside that room and just scan through the wall to try and see if he can register any organics in there.
Okay, so Gideon, if you unselect yourself, you'll see that you're also inside of the storage room now.
Mm-hmm.
So this is you looking through. So as you look through the wall, you can see like immediately there's freight on this east wall. And then there seems to be 2 storage units, large doored storage units that look like they have their own environmental support system.
Okay.
And yeah, from there you can kind of see several other crates, some wall shelving, some larger, I don't know, probably like 10 by 10 storage units, and then some bulk freight containers. Can I have you make a awareness check for me?
Yes, indeed.
And I should probably say real quick, thank you, Scottish Jeff, for donating an edge die to Gideon and Wyvern.
Yeah, right on. I will use one of those edge dice. Oh, nice. Okay, so 11, 14, 15, Awareness is 15.
15. Okay. Thank you. Please continue.
Sweet. Yeah. Gideon's just scanning through, basically looking at that scope, just being like, "Where are you? Come on now."
So it looks like, as far as you can tell from the angle that you're at, you could, if you move outside, you could kind of start to rotate through the hallways, looking through the walls, potentially to try and get other vantage points. But so far, it doesn't seem like anyone's actually in there. But your MMW scope, the one that lets you see through the walls, only lets you see through a single layer of wall. So seeing into these actual storage containers, you would have to be present inside of the freight room itself in order to start peeking inside.
Yeah, I think Gideon's just going to wait for Oaken and Corvo. So he'll just see what he can see for now.
Perfect.
And if anything, he's probably just on this corner so that he can peek out from around there just to make sure no one else is coming, and then get back to looking in the room.
Go ahead and move yourself to where you want to be.
So Gideon would be here.
Right there.
Yep.
And somewhat, I'll unstick you from the grid. So you're kind of like poking out so you can kind of see down the way, but not like obvious.
Yeah. So he's probably he's probably here, just so that he can switch between using the scope to look into the storage and then also just peek down the hallway.
Gideon, do you need support? You need something?
No, I'm just trying to see if I can see anything in that room. I can't see any organics right now. I think I'm in the wrong angle, but I'm gonna wait for these other two to do what they gotta do, and then we'll keep on moving. But you said the signal's coming from in here?
That's right. And when we're ready, maybe I can get some eyes on inside quick.
Yeah, sure. There's a couple of big storage units that I can't see into, so maybe.
Copy that.
Okay.
Oaken would say George Michael's willing to go in if you can open the door for him.
Yes!
How could I forget George Michael? There's George Michael.
Thank
I placed him onto the map.
Can we zoom in on George Michael, please?
Yes. We must see George Michael in all of his,
Gosh, can we get a
his
zoom?
beauty and glory. There it is. Wow. Look at that little cuddly friend.
Just healthy and virile.
Yes.
Well taken care of, obviously.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So, you want to run George Michael to the freight car?
Yes.
I believe you can move him. Let me double check configure ownership. Observe it. Yeah, you're owner. Yep, there you go. Go ahead and run George Michael downstairs. So a squirrel is now running down. How discreetly is George Michael running? Is he just kind of like galloping, like squirrel galloping, or is he kind of being a little stealthy?
Stealthy, but on the side of the wall. And then while he's doing that and I'm seeing what he's seeing, I ask Gideon to cover him.
Gideon's just like, you got it. Godspeed, George Michael.
All I can see in my
Go
head
ahead
is
and make us
from Ice Age.
Somebody clip that, please.
Oaken, please go ahead and make a stealth check for George Michael. This uses George Michael's dexterity.
Okay.
And skill check. I'm pretty sure squirrels are rather dexterous, but you can go ahead and
they are.
take a look. Yeah.
God,
And he's
Steve.
tiny, which makes him pretty hard to hit as well, so he shouldn't be too at risk. Until he is. One hit should probably do it.
9.
9. Oh goodness. Okay. Well, George Michael did not get the memo on being stealthy. George Michael's like, like squirrels when they run on your roof and you can kind of hear them. It's just like across the wall as he skitters towards the freight door.
Look, I know he needs trained, but seriously.
But he's well groomed.
Yeah. Silky.
As he does that, JD, you're in your seat. Further up in the train, are you doing? You're hearing all of this, and it does take a little bit not to to hold your composure. Good thing you're very good at holding your composure, but so far it sounds like it's a very professionally executed mission thus far. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no,
What are you
Octavius is
doing?
not worried at all about whether or not this is going to end in disaster. I think what Octavius is going to do is just start. Let me know if I need to roll this, but from walking around earlier, who would have the authority to open those freight containers?
It would be so you know how there was the guy who was attending to the different guests? It would be him. Likely there's more just kind of civilian train or not civilian, but like train, not conductors, but
Just personnel.
maintenance personnel who would operate and just make sure that, you know, the freight isn't shifting around and that sort of stuff. And then otherwise it would probably be the individuals from the actual passenger cars who, if a guest needed to get something out from storage, they would run and gain access to that sort of stuff.
Then I think the main thing that Octavius is doing is waiting for one of those people to be nearby and then tripping and falling as the train moves so that they have to help him up and he can borrow their fingerprints.
Nice. Go ahead and make a guile check. He's walking by with some lovely cucumber water for some of his guests, and
The drink.
Hopefully they will appreciate it more than the last person. That is a 30.
Okay. That's a critical success, sir. He's like, oh my, sir, are you okay? And he reaches down his hand, holding the precariously holding the cucumber water tray in his other hand, and grabs a hold, I'm guessing, of the open palm.
Mm-hmm.
And with pure finesse, you code in his fingerprint, palm print scans onto your open palm as he helps you up.
And Octavius thanks him. Yes. Of course.
These trains move very quickly. It takes a little bit to adjust to.
It's my first time, and I'm so embarrassed. I can't believe that just happened. Thank you so much.
Of course. If you need anything, these trains, that's my job. Just please let me know. I'd be happy to help you. Now, if you excuse me, there are some guests waiting for their divine cucumber waters, and
you know, some cucumber water would be lovely.
Absolutely. Give me just a couple of minutes. And he goes on his way, and you're moving to the freight car?
Yeah, I think I am.
Okay. Perfect. One last thing before we do, go ahead and make an intuition check.
I would love to make an intuition check. I'm sure this is fine.
Yeah.
I'm sure the fact that I rolled 2 1s on that will also be fine. That is okay. That is a 17.
Two ones and you still got a 17.
I'm rolling 5 dice.
Yeah, nice.
As you slowly meander your way back, you catch a glance of a kind of Arabic-looking gentleman in a suit, and you both look at each other, and it's just like something doesn't quite sit right with you, and you can tell he's looking at you the same way. And then he goes back to reading his newspaper.
Octavius will remember this.
Perfect. And you move on into the cabin car. Wyvern, what are you doing?
You know, one of the things that I was thinking is that I was curious about whether or not Harper Kane had left their suite or not, or if they're still there. I kind of want to know where they are.
Yeah, go ahead and make a net diving check.
Okay. Ooh, that's I'm not even gonna waste an edge die on that one. That is a 10.
No, it's totally fine. Harper Kane, his EMS signal seems to be still stationary in his in his room. You also detect that he is currently signaling out, probably on a call right before they enter into the tunnel system.
Okay. With that knowledge in mind, I'll just communicate with my companions here. You want me to see if I can pop the door open to the freight car? Are we ready for this? George Michael, are you ready, buddy?
So. Well,
George Michael, come in. George.
He's ready.
Okay.
yeah. Corvo, you all good back there?
Oh, I'm ready and waiting.
Octavius,
All right.
I'm perfect.
it's go time.
Let's do this.
All right. Wyvern, I'm guessing you're popping the door?
Yes.
And go ahead and make a hacking check. Remember to add one for the hack to the security device, and then for the hack for this door to act to a trace each.
21.
20. Yeah, the door opens. The large blast doors to the storage facility slide open. As they slide open, Wyvern, you can't help notice with these past couple of hacks you've been doing through this node, the ice seem a tad bit agitated. They're still running processes to regulate the fact that you are manipulating systems and yet still have clearance. So it's a little precarious, but you can tell that they're starting to get uneasy.
Okay. I'm gonna have my Digidama ready to enter into the freight car as well as that door opens up.
Okay, so you're pulling it back from the node in the engine room back to you.
Yes.
Okay. And it runs back. Corvo, you're up, my friend.
So Corvo's just... Yep.
As you approach the engine door, you can see there's a key code and a hand scanner in front of the engine room door.
Wyvern, did you set all of these doors to easy open, or am I going to have to punch through this one?
No, you've got clearance. You should be able to open it right up.
So, gonna step forward and try and open the door.
All right, you stick your hand onto the biometrics. It scans for a second, sits there, accepted, and the door opens up. As it swings open, you see two conductors. They are busy hitting all kinds of levers, buttons, operating on the overlay. They hardly notice the door slide open behind them.
As I step through, I rack my shotgun for the world's most intimidating sound. Gentlemen, your attention for a moment, please.
They're both in shock as they swivel around in their chairs. They're like, you can't be in here.
I'm not pointing it at either of them, but it's definitely pointed in their direction. What I need from you is to shut up and listen. I need this train to be moving slower as we go through this tunnel, and I expect you to do your very best to do so. So, turn back around, look at your instruments, and show me where your hands need to be to slow the train down. I'll also be trying for an intimidation check on this one.
Please, go ahead and make an intimidation check.
While he's doing that, I'm also sending what... Nope, I can't do that. Never mind. I can't do that.
So that's a 25 on the intimidation check?
25. Yeah, they both swivel around and immediately begin to engage the braking system.
So as soon as they do that and I can see which of their hands, like where their hands need to be, I'm going to grab the tape and just tape their hands in place.
Okay.
Gentlemen,
are you looking for a hard break or like gradual break?
I just want the train slowed. My mental assessment is that if the front engine is going full force through the tunnel, then this engine putting an opposite force is just going to slow it down.
Yep.
I don't need the train stopped. I just need it slowed down.
Right. They begin to apply. You tape up their hands as they're applying the brakes. Gideon, what are you doing? Continuing to cover George Michael, of course, but in addition to that.
No, I am. Basically, I'm just waiting for Corvo to get back, and just if George Michael has gone to the door, I might actually move up and put myself kind of almost next to the door.
Okay. And so as you move up to the door has opened. And Oaken, I assume you're moving in, George Michael.
Yes, but there he is. Okay, yes. He's gonna look around the corner before he scampers.
Go ahead and make a awareness check with George Michael and his little squirrely senses.
Okay.
See if he sees any nuts.
Squirrely senses.
Should I be rolling stealth as well?
Hold on, I gotta figure.
If you would like, if you're moving up the hallway stealthily, there's no one in it, but.
No, I think I'm still gonna try and stealth my way up.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, that's good.
So when rolling an awareness check for my my beautiful little George Michael, it's
your squirrel's awareness. So it's going to be the squirrels. It's under wisdom.
Okay, 3. Got it.
And then it will likely be +3 to that.
11.
That's with the +3?
Yep. No.
14. Okay.
No, that's not with the +3.
Okay. Yeah, it looks largely empty and still inside of the storage room. Gideon, real quickly, what was your stealth roll?
16 was my stealth roll.
16, thank you. What's that? Yeah. So George Michael moves on in. Where's George Michael going?
He's gonna do a walk around the perimeter and then circle back one more time while I'm synced with him. I'm going to show this to Gideon so he has other eyes. Corvo is a little bit busy, but I will catch him up in a little bit.
Sure. So the squirrel starts running around, seeing the facility. And as it does that, Gideon, I need you to make a dodge check.
Oh, dodge check. Very well. All right. Oh, nice. That is 20.
20. Gideon, the armor on your left leg explodes. As completely silently, you have just been hit by bullets but have zero idea where it came from. Gideon, you take 7 damage on your left leg. You kind of go down to one knee, like the armor on your left leg explodes to pieces as your leg gets hit by what appears to be a burst fire.
Oh, that's not good. Oh. And I cannot see where it's coming from.
Yes, you know it came from this direction because it exploded on the front side of your leg, but there's absolutely nothing in the hallway.
Yeah, sweet. The first thing I do will be probably to tell Vern. I'll be like, damn it, Vern, something hit me, I can't see it.
I'm on it.
Vern, what are you doing?
Can I like bring up the scope?
Oh, yeah.
and like look ahead of me and try and see something? I mean,
Yeah. What vision mode are you utilizing?
it has. I've got the. I'm going to try and work with Vern and use the Omnitech activation imaging.
Okay.
So I'm going to try and like use the overlay to find something.
Go ahead and make an awareness check.
Mm-hmm. Awareness is. Okay. I'm going to use nature dice for this one. Okay, that's good. So 4, 8, 10, 13, 17.
17. Wyvern, he is using Omnitech, searching around. At first, Gideon, you're not seeing anything. Whatever this is not only silenced, but is ghosted.
Ghosted?
You're pretty certain of that.
Yep. Oh, yep. God damn it.
Wyvern, what are you doing?
I'm sending. Well, where am I right now relative to everything else? I don't see my token actually. Oh. Hello.
So in submersion space.
Yep.
So Gideon's just right outside of the door. George Michael. So yeah, there's virtual George Michael. Although technically you wouldn't be able to see virtual George Michael since he doesn't have an EMS signal. But for anyways, all that said, yes. So you're here. You can detect this anything within this car. Though if Gideon's right, if this thing's ghosted, it's going to be very hard to find without visual confirmation first.
Yep. I'm gonna run. I have something that can help. I'm gonna run Sweep Sleuth, which should, within 100 feet of me, illuminate concealed and ghosted objects in the overlay. And if that doesn't work, I have a backup plan.
Okay, go ahead and run Sweep Sleuth.
Okay. Sweep Sleuth. Okay. I'm gonna use an edge die. God,
Okay. Well, that you got Jeff over here helping out.
So that makes it a 14.
14. You detect 2 drones. One is on the ceiling of the freight. It is a small spider-like drone. And you detect an SMG on it, though this is clearly not what shot Gideon. What shot Gideon, you still can't detect. You also know that there is another drone in the north side of the car passageway. Same kind as is inside this compartment.
Okay. In terms of actions and sub-actions, can I forego an action to use another sub-action?
Yes, correct.
Okay.
Actions can be used to take sub-actions as well.
Got it. All right. Well, then as my sub-action action, I'm going to also run. I'll put up a ping for the team on those 2 drones, so that they know where they are. Those are in the reel, right? Those drones are in the reel.
Correct.
They just have some sort of a cloaking subterfuge mode going on.
These ones appeared to be concealed, so as soon as you ran Sleuth, and you beat their CSV, so you exposed where they were at.
And my companions can now know where they are too.
Right, especially if you ping them, especially with Gideon having an Omnitech sight, he'd be able to pick them up immediately.
Okay. So is that running ping, or is that?
Yep, just go ahead and drop a ping.
Yep. Okay.
Yep. So you run the ping, they become pinged. Also, your eavesdropping program that's been running in the background, Wyvern, you're starting to pinpoint. You think it's going to be a turn or 2, and you should know where its source is.
Okay. Otherwise, I could run trace detector potentially.
Yep, that would be if there's active programs going on as well. So if the signaler is also dropping programs, that would help as well.
Okay, well, we'll stick with the eavesdrop for now and see if that helps.
Yep, sweet. Yeah, Gideon's just gonna be like, well, looks like we got company.
And with that, Oaken has been moving around the squirrel. JD, you're moving towards the freight engine? Number 1?
I am. Yep.
Okay. So we're gonna jump all the way up to freight engine number 1. We're gonna move you on over there. This is now about 20 seconds before you guys enter the tunnel. So you are now at the freight engine number 1, JD. Oh, oops, sorry. I should activate that scene so you guys aren't just looking in Omni world. So here you are. If you scroll to your left, JD, you should find your character. I should actually find out what the shortcut is that brings you to your character, but yeah, and you're going using the handprint?
Yep.
And it slides open. So JD, this is an area you can see into. I'm going to go ahead and just move your character one step closer. You can see into the freight room, and as soon as you look through the window, there's no technicians in this room, but you can see that they're in the other room, and Voltara is talking to the other 2 individuals as he is equipping his flamethrower, getting ready what looks like to move.
Cool. This is good. This is good. Octavius is gonna just take a step back, just a little bit, and say, "Hey, want some more good news, bad news?"
Yeah, sure.
Please.
Ah, damn it.
Great. I'm gonna ask if you're okay in a moment, Gideon, but for right now, good news is I found Voltara. Bad news is he's suiting up.
Okay. Yeah.
And with that, you guys hear the blast door to the freight room that he's looking into open up.
Well, yeah, get yourself as safe as you can, Octavius. He's most likely coming towards us.
And Corvo, gonna shift way back down the train to you. What are you doing?
So the last thing that Corvo does as he feels the train start to slow down as they engage the engine in the opposite direction is he pulls out a grenade off his belt and straps on, like with the tape going under the spoon on the grenade, straps on what looks like a little flashing LED. Gentlemen, what I need you to understand is that this, and he shows it to them so that they can both see it, this will be set off if you try to move past it. And he puts it down out of their field of vision behind them. You try to move past this, it will go off and repaint this entire compartment in a lovely shade of hue. If I hear you saying anything to anyone on the train, I'll set it off by remote. I have the remote button very close to hand. Other than that, just make sure we go as slow as we can and stay where you are. You have a lovely day. And then he's going to book it back out of the engine compartment and head to where Gideon is muttering to himself very clearly, audibly over the commnet. I told you not to move up without me, and now you've gotten shot because I had to go and sort out our timing issue. God save me from these idiots.
So you head on out of the engine room, door closing behind you. Engine conductors nodding agreeably. As you move up towards Gideon and the others. Gideon, what are you doing? Actually, before we get on to you, Gideon, why don't we take a 5-minute break, and we will come back as we try and figure out this drone conundrum our team is in.
It'll all be fine. I'm sure.
I'm sure it'll be fine,
Nope.
guys.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
One. Hey, we're back. Hey, everybody. Thanks for sticking around. Sorry, Scarpy, that we baited you into joining the channel a little while we're on break. That's the rub. And we come back. Gideon is up. His leg has just been hit pretty darn hard by some sort of silenced, ghosted burst fire. He can't see where it's coming from. Gideon, what are you doing? You are aware now as you look through your scope, you're detecting the ping inside of the freight room. There is definitely something pinging on the roof, thanks to yours truly, Vern, that you're picking up in your scope, but it's not what shot you.
Let's see. George Michael is in the freight room, isn't he?
Yep.
And when Vern pinged those turrets, were they looking at me? Like, were they trained on my location?
The one inside of the freight does seem to be aiming down or facing the entrance. Although it's up on the freight roofing, so it's up probably a good maybe 15 20 feet.
Yep. I just want to make sure the one in there is pointing at me, not at George Michael.
Correct, not pointed at George Michael. George Michael is in the clear, despite his little skittering, attempt at stealth.
Is he near the door, or is he further in the room?
He's further in the room. If you deselect your character, you should be able to see through George Michael over there. If you can possibly see his little squirrel self by the yellow crate.
No, that's fine. Basically, if the turret's not pointing at him, Gideon is going to run back to the cover around the corner, back to where he originally was. So back to here.
What's the health on your leg?
7.
7. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. So you're gonna
so
run.
I'll start running back, and I'll tell Oaken. I'll be like, tell George Michael to get underneath something. Get him to go and hide. It's fine. If he can stay underneath something, he should be okay. And I'll come sliding around that corner, trying to get out of range of whatever shot me down the hallway.
Go ahead and make a running check for me.
Running, yeah. I'm sure it'll be fine, guys. It's gonna be great. That's not too bad, actually. That is 13 for running.
13. All right, Gideon, you get to about here. As you're running down you're not quite at the end of it. You're headed back down because you don't have anything augmenting your movement speed, correct? You're just normal 30 feet. Okay,
yep.
Perfect. So you're running back down the hallway, and Oaken, what are you and George Michael doing?
I'm gonna be staying around the corner because I'm waiting for Corvo because he's my cover. But through the first sweep, did George Michael see anything he could get under?
Yeah, there's definitely all kinds of like little nooks and crannies of container stuff. So he could like move up kind of over here and kind of nestle into these crevices like squirrels like to do. Nice.
Yes.
George Michael is keeping his head low. Anything else, Oaken?
At this point, I'm just looking at the clock, making sure Wavern still has time to do some things because we haven't moved as fast as we thought we would be.
Gideon, would you like to make a dodge roll for me?
Hell yeah, I can make a dodge roll.
Remember, it is +3 because you're running.
Oh, yeah. Oh, nice. Nice. Let's see. 6, 12, 17, 20, 23.
Okay. The wall in front of you, you hear whizzing right by your left ear. And the wall in front of you takes several bullet holes.
Yep.
And again, just totally silent.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. All right. Gideon's just like, well,
and
all right.
Wyvern, what are you doing?
Well,
you got one more turn until you know the source.
Okay, so I'm still waiting on that.
Yep.
Well, what are the? Do I have any sort of read on the ice units?
Ice units are still, are agitated. They're still not taking any sort of measures against you. But depending on how much blatant program manipulation you pump out here, that could change fairly swiftly.
Okay. Oh boy.
Yeah.
I really want to know. I really want to know where these shots are coming from.
It's
But I
right,
need
bro.
to
We got
wait.
time. You just wait. You get that stuff you need to get.
Yeah, what was that again? Remind
You're
me?
waiting to find out where that signal's coming from. Yeah.
Yeah, with the eavesdrop.
Yep.
Wyvern, while you're waiting, can you see if it'd be easy enough to turn off the lights in the cargo car? I've still got the whole layout on my overlay, so I'll be able to find my way around, and I'll grab Oaken on the way through. But Gideon's got his scope, and any advantage we can get at this point would be useful. They're expecting
drop
to
the
be able to
lights.
see with the lights. Let's turn them off as we get into the tunnel.
Yeah, when you're ready to get into the car, let me know and I'll drop the lights.
All
That'll buy
I'm
us
waiting
some
for
time.
is darkness.
Okay.
Perfect. JD, what are you doing?
What is Voltara doing?
Voltara has exited out the blast doors and seems to be heading towards the back of the train.
All right, then I'm going to take the fact that I have this space to move around in, and I think the first thing I want to do is see if any of Kane's belongings are here that I could maybe rifle through.
Okay. You exit out a service entrance into the space. Now, there is some technicians who seem to be securing some stuff around. So would you like to make a stealth check? Or are you just walking around this place? Okay. Go ahead and make a stealth check. In this case, you're not going to use guile, you're just going to use your stealth.
I'm going to now be the one to use an edge dice.
Yes.
There we go.
And that will knock me up to a
Hey.
17.
Thanks for the raid,
17.
Architects of Fate. Welcome in, friends.
Hey, welcome in. Well, great. Yes, you're kind of sneaking around, moving between these crates, taking a look at things. And as you approach up here, go ahead and actually, yeah, you find a rather large, secured, highly technological looking suitcase, or not suitcase, it's like a large, almost like a military case. It's highly armored, and on the front is a handprint, and there's a logo on it that states the Bryson Kane faction.
I would like to fit my hand to that handprint.
Perfect. And as it reads your hand, are you using the open palm or your non-open palm?
I'm using my non-open palm.
Okay. And as we wait for that to read, I will now ask, who has the cube? I don't think we determined who was carrying
didn't determine who gave it,
we
yeah.
did not.
the encryption device.
It would
I'll leave it
probably
up to you guys.
it would probably be one of the ones from the hovercraft because we'd have the access to it, and then the other two wouldn't have to worry about it once they're on the train. So
I'd suggest that Gideon's probably got the most pockets.
got it.
Perfect. Gideon's got the cube. Octavius. The hand signal reads to allowed. And as it turns green, the name Bryson Kane appears. And it pops open. And inside is a strange looking device, highly technological, and it looks like the cube fits right in the middle of this device. What are you doing, Octavius?
I mean, I have to ask, is this device bigger than a bread box?
Yeah, it's probably about a foot in diameter, and then maybe about 6 inches to 8 inches thick. Almost like a flattened box. And then it about halfway deep into it is an area where you would set the cube, and there's all kinds of nodes and reading devices all around it. Again, it looks very state of the art. Whatever this coding system is, it's probably extremely new on the market, or not even yet on.
Got it. Then I think Octavius is going to come on the comms and ask, how many bad guys between me and you?
Far too many.
That's what I thought. All right, I'll wait for you in that case.
Yep.
I'm ready to rock once I have the cube.
You got it.
And with that, Corvo, you enter in to the main car. As you kind of come through the sliding door, you see holes get punched into the hallway wall over here.
Can you ping that again?
Yep, right
Are we
here.
entering the tunnel?
Okay.
You guys are about 10 to probably about somewhere around 10 seconds out from the tunnel.
Sweet.
Cool. Yeah. So Corvo's just gonna grab Oaken and like push her behind him as he like pulls his shield off his back. Grab onto the back of my vest and don't let go. 3, 2, and on 1, as the lights drop as we enter the tunnel, he's gonna just step around the corner with his shield out and start moving down the hall on the like overlay that he's mentally mapped out on his like internal view of the. So yeah, as the lights
and I'll
go
drop
out,
the lights as well as he counts down. You know, knowing that's the cue, just drop the lights.
So yeah, we still have our internal understanding of the hall, and obviously we know where the 2 pinged bots are.
Mm-hmm.
But then it's just pushing towards the door while we wait for Vern to tell us where to shoot.
Mm-hmm.
Because those drones are going to stop working as soon as the operator goes down.
Yeah, as soon as Corvo gets near me, I'll zip it behind him as well and kind of lean out with the sniper rifle beside him.
You know I've got my axe in the other hand, so I'm ready to go.
And you guys start moving.
You can take care of it.
You guys start moving down and taking cover behind Corvo's shield as you move down the way. And Wyvern, it's at this moment we are going to jump into submersion space.
Yeah.
At this moment, Wyvern, that you detect the signal is coming from the second environmental controlled box. Inside of it, you pick up the signal of Weaver.
Okay. I'm gonna ping.
Also, simultaneously, Wyvern, because of the triangulation, you pick up. There is a medium-sized spider drone with active camouflage and a ghosted, silenced assault rifle, clinging to the roof of the hallway that they're in.
Ping everything. Ping it all. Ping all of them.
Okay. You drop another ping, lighting up the drone and Weaver, and with that, those out in the real, we'll come to you guys. Anything else you're doing after the ping, Wyvern?
Well, now if I remember correctly, when we spoke with Vaudeville, I think it was with Vaudeville. It might have been through a contact. Is there a way to detect trace aboard the train while we're in the tunnel? There was some sort of a trace, something going on with trace maybe, or I might have misunderstood.
Correct. So as soon as you enter the tunnel, it's essentially no external signaling and no internal trace leaves. Essentially, you're air gapped from the rest of the world as soon as you enter that tunnel, which you're going to be entering in about 5 seconds.
But someone in the tunnel would be able to detect trace. It's just that, like, the authorities outside. Okay, got you.
So the whole train becomes basically the whole world of Omnian until it's outside of it. So anybody on the train could still detect each other on the train, but nothing external can get, no signals, no Omnian stuff.
Okay. I'm going to, let's see. I want to take control of one of these drones. I'm going to hijack a drone.
Yeah, which one are you going to try and hijack?
So you got one here that has a SMG, like a spider with an SMG on it.
Correct.
Okay.
And then the one out in the hallway over here, so if you look through your Digidama, the one out in the hallway over here is a medium-sized drone with a assault rifle with a drum barrel, ghosted silencer, and and weak point priority sights. And active camouflage, yep. And then there's a drone around the corner that's the same as the small one. The other thing that you detect, though, on the drone, the medium drone, is it actually has a system for hijack countermeasures. So it's going to be a really hard to grab control of that one.
Wyvern is always up for a challenge.
Okay.
I want to hijack that drone.
I mean, that's why they gave us a capstone, right?
That's all kitted out.
Are you hijacking it, or are you trying to remote operate it yourself? So force out the remote operator and take full control and remote operate that drone. One would be full control as long as you're remote operating. The other one would just be using it for an action, essentially. Yeah.
No, I think full control is really what I desire.
Okay, this is going to be a straight hacking check, and your threshold to beat is 25.
Nope.
With a -3 penalty because of the countermeasure system.
Ooh.
Weaver, this is clearly Weaver's baby.
Yeah.
It's a showdown. All right, so basically, I'm not getting my my hacking bonus because I have a +3, so it's just a straight roll of my intelligence.
Yep.
Okay, here we go.
All 6s, and you're almost there.
That's right. And what did you say? What did you say the total was?
You need to beat a 25 threshold.
Oh God. Okay. So we've got 16. So I'm going to use my capstone.
You need at least a 9.
Yep. Oh God.
Slightly over a 50% chance.
I'm going to use my GaryCon dice for good luck. Hope to see folks at GaryCon this year in March. Come on, Gary. Oh, that's cocked. Come on, Gary. No, I didn't get it. I didn't get it.
Oh no.
Yeah, no, I didn't get it.
You
Edge dice.
How many edge dice can I use in one action?
So technically the capstone takes the place of an edge dice, and it's like a big edge dice.
Yeah, no, that wouldn't help anyways. So
you try to force your way in, but Weaver is very good at this.
Guys, Weaver's very good at this stuff. And there's a arachnid SMG drone just inside the door. Heads up.
I may have to recall George Michael and get Zip in there because he likes spiders.
You're gonna love this room then.
With that, so that was Wyvern. You guys are moving down. Oh, for those out in the hallway, you can now see down the hallway a very large arachnid drone on the roof with the assault rifle aimed down at you. This turn, however, doesn't seem to be shooting. It just seems that the scope is doing crazy parameter scoping of Corvo. Jade Octavius, what are you doing? You just waiting in the room?
I think that is Octavius's plan. He has been told to stay put and to stay safe, so he is going to find a place where he can hide close enough to one of the doors that hopefully he can basically have the cube thrown to him and he can deal with that while the others are committing crimes of another sort.
Perfect. He kind of puts himself in the nook over here to stay undetected. And is just waiting for the right signal. You guys are moments out from the tunnel. Corvo, what are you doing?
I'm pushing for the door. I mean, that's...
Good. Running.
No, actually, yeah, I'm running.
Okay. All right, go ahead and make a running check.
It's another 8 feet on top of my 30.
So that'll be 40 feet is your movement, so you can get to about here. As you run up the hallway. Now running takes up your action, but you do have a sub action. If there is anything you can do with a sub action.
I will hold my sub action for the moment.
Sounds good. Gideon, what are you doing?
I'm sticking to Corvo basically.
Okay.
Yep. I'm
Running check?
gonna run with him.
Okay.
So that is a running check. Nice. Okay, so that is 10, 15.
15. Nice. So yeah, you can stay right up next to him.
Yep.
You do have a sub action. You imbuing anything, or are you gonna hold on to that?
I am going to. Is pull a sub action, or is that an action?
Pull, I believe.
Oh no, it's one action to pull.
Action. Lift is the sub action.
Yeah, lift is the sub action. I'm just gonna chill out for now.
Okay.
Perfect. I will. Oh no, because imbue is a sub action, so I'll
That's
imbue.
what I was asking.
Yeah. I'll imbue the rifle.
Okay. Perfect. Your sniper rifle becomes imbued with psychic energy, ready to do some extra damage. Oaken, what are you doing?
I'm trying to stay between the two of them, so probably either holding
Definitely
on and letting them run.
Yeah, you could try to hold on, though I don't think your strength is the best in the world, so I suggest just running.
I got a 15.
Perfect. You're able to stay right up with them. Anything you doing with George Michael, or is he just holding
Yes.
tight inside of the crates?
No, I'm gonna recall him and get him in my jacket.
Okay, George Michael comes sprinting out from the containers around the corner and into your jacket. And does kind of like a little jump around the door and then leaps into your hands almost like a flying squirrel.
Yeah, nice.
And with that, I need a cover save from you, Corvo. With your shield, I imagine. Oh, it rolled bad. That's good.
You're muted, Josh.
You're muted,
I was going to do the interpretive dance, but okay, so that's not bad. And I just need to double check how my shield functions.
I think +2 to cover.
Yeah, that feels about right. Cool. So that is a grand total of 18.
18. You successfully it's 18. You successfully shield against it, so your shield takes 7 points of damage.
That's right. That's still got a little bit of work left in it.
As the assault rifle blasts silently into the front of the shield, Wyvern, you're about to enter the tunnel. Anything else on your part that you would like to do in submersion space?
Of course there is. I am going to send Weaver an audio message.
Okay. What are you sending?
I like your style. It's gonna be sad to have to watch you die.
You get an audio file back that says, "Funny, I was thinking the same thing."
Nice. Touche.
And then, Wyvern, right before you enter the tunnel, you get the ping back from the packet you attached to the coding stream way back when you first hacked. It starts as 1, and then it begins to radiate. It's not set to a geography, but rather it is pinging enormously throughout plunge space. This is not sourcing from any physical geolocation. This code is coming direct from plunge space, from the prescient mapping algorithm. Something or someone is surveilling this train from within plunge space, and you've never heard of anyone who can sit in plunge space for as long as they would have needed to establish this sort of routine. And then it goes black as you enter the tunnel. And the ping stops because no signaling can get in.
Okay.
JD, I'm guessing you're holding tight, waiting for your team?
Holding tight. Yep.
Perfect. You guys are now inside of the tunnel. Over your EMS, there's kind of like this quick moment of crackling, and you can very clearly, it's almost like a third, or like a sixth sense. You just feel somewhat isolated, because you're kind of used to always being connected to just like immediately internet overlay in your brain just at all times, and all of a sudden it just feels strange. It almost feels like somebody who is not very comfortable sitting with their own thoughts. Like all of a sudden you just feel like smaller, tighter as you become all severed from the greater Omni network. And we come back to Corvo. What are we doing?
Corvo's going to move up to
The doorway?
this side of the doorway.
Oh yeah.
So that I can see into the room.
Yep.
And also so that I can just cover off so I've still got the shield up here.
To the major drone. Yep.
And then
so Corvo, so you know, from where you're standing, you know over here, inside of, you can just see the edge of this environmental unit. You know Weaver's inside of here. If Weaver goes down, those drones stop functioning.
Okay, so what did I move?
So it's not even about taking out the drones per se. Now that you know where Weaver is, it's about getting to Weaver, because the moment she goes down, you've taken care of all of them.
Okay, so then I'm gonna, like, having communicated that on the commnet, I'm just gonna like race towards that or like trying to get a line of fire on that environmental unit with another run check.
Oh yeah, go ahead and make a run.
And I'll chuck an edge dice in there because I'd like to get a little further.
Hoof it.
Okay, so that's an extra 18 feet, which is 33 feet total.
So that would be, yep, so you round to the nearest 5, so you get an extra 35 feet of movement. Yep.
Okay. That's what I want. That's that one there.
You beeline it for the environmental unit. You can't actually, I mean, I think technically you can see her. She's inside of it. So you can't see here. I just didn't build an inside to my environmental. Bear with me. Anything else you're doing, Corvo?
I think like as I'm running, I'd just be reloading my shotgun entirely with spread shot.
Okay.
Because the goal is to open the door and just fill that very narrow little tunnel with spread shot.
So as you round the corner, you're running in. The arachnid drone on the top is shooting at you. Now, in this case, Corvo, it's up to you. You could take a dodge check because you have a +3 because you're running, but then you can't use your shield to cover. Or you can just cover with your shield, but you're going to take an SMG shot here.
Actually, I would be using my cover fire ability to just knock it off its balance, which is a reaction.
Yep.
Which just means that it has a -3. It needs to make
you
a
actually
willpower.
do get to make the shot.
Oh, okay. Oh.
Yep. So is this a spread fire shot, and then yeah. So go ahead and make a shot against it. $23 hits. You strip nearly all of the armor off of this drone. That's when you realize that this small drone, despite its size, is very well reinforced. Pretty state of the art. So you rip through most of its armor. You can see some sparking, but it seems functional. As you kind of do that covering fire up at it, it shoots at you. It is now disadvantaged, or has the -3 penalty. So still, your call, either a cover save or a dodge save.
It'd be a dodge save, I think. Like the
Okay.
movement is the key here.
Yep. So you get a +3 to your dodge check.
That is 12 is 14. 17. I'll take 17.
17. Yes. The SMG sprays around you as you kind of come running around these crates. It it being kind of distracted with being peppered with shotgun shots. And yeah, Gideon, you're up.
You're muted, Alan.
We're all doing it this week. So Corvo is heading in to deal with Weaver. I think Gideon's gonna step in front of Oak and May, and just line up that drone and take a shot with the rifle.
The medium drone over there.
The medium drone, yeah.
Okay. Go ahead and make a shot. Are you using the scope?
I am indeed, because of the overlay.
Yes, perfect. So you have +3 to hit.
Mhm.
Perfect. Go ahead and roll.
Oh, nice. That is a total of 19.
That hits. And so that's 5 damage plus your auric manifestation, which is a +2, I believe, unless you upped your amplifier. Did you up your amplifier?
No. It's only +1 side damage.
It's actually +2. It's 1 plus
Oh,
your
1 plus
amplifier, but rounded to the nearest, rounded up. So it should be 2 damage. Extra.
2, yeah, it's 2 damage. Yep.
All right, you peg it for 7 damage, stripping away a decent chunk of its armor. But this too is rather fortified. But it kind of like shudders up on the roof, and like one of its legs kind of compensates, grabbing a hold of the side wall as it repositions itself somewhat kind of halfway on the roof, halfway on the wall from taking the sniper shot.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
you're up.
Yeah, I'll
I'm
just be
too
like,
short.
you better get in there.
Yeah, I would love to and take a shot at it, but they're all too tall for me. I can't get up there.
No, I mean get in the freight room.
Oh.
So it's only got one thing to shoot at.
Oh yeah, that one. But then there's another one inside. Is the one inside gonna be lower because it's been shot? Can I swing at that
no,
one?
It's still on the roof.
Yeah.
Now,
So
you could, Oaken, you could try wall running, which if successful, you could run up to a half movement up the wall with a correct acrobatics check, and then you could jump to try and jump at it and make it as a part of a charge attack. This has happened in other games. Josh,
Parkour.
Not Josh
Yeah.
Corvo, Josh the producer, and that's a story for another time.
Do something unhinged. You know you want to.
okay, let's do it. Okay, so first check is acrobatics.
Yep. So you move into the room.
Yep.
You're going to make actually first is going to be a running check to see how much more movement you have.
Okay. 12.
12. Okay. So that goes up. So it's 15 more feet of movement. So you've used 20. You've got 25 feet of movement. Now you're going to make an acrobatics check to wall run.
Come on.
9.
Would you like to edge dice that?
Yeah. Yes, I would. Yes, I would. 13.
13. All right. You run up 15 feet of wall. And now lastly, just a jumping check to see if you can jump roughly 5 feet. Project yourself. So you kind of run up this wall and then lunge over towards the arachnid drone on the ceiling with your battle axe out. So go ahead and make a jumping check.
A la Matthew McConaughey in Reign of Fire.
Yeah.
12. 13.
Okay.
13.
That's the 12 or 13 that would have gotten you the same result, so don't worry. Go ahead and make a melee combat check now as you come making a charge attack
Hell
against
yeah.
the drone on the
Unhinged.
roof.
I'm going to edge dice this one too, so 2, 3.
Okay.
Nine.
9. That was very low. You go sailing past the drone. It was almost awesome. You go sailing past the drone and whiff the attack.
Matthew McConaughey in Rain of Fire.
Wait, edge dice? Will edge dice help?
No,
She
Aaron,
did already. That was a 9 with an edge. Yeah.
That was with the edge. Shit.
I know.
Oof. And with Oaken's turn, the medium drone, Gideon, it doesn't shoot at you. Again, you see the scope doing the weak point sighted scope doing some sort of algorithm as it locks in on you. And Wyvern, you're up.
All right. Look, right now the ice is still sort of like contemplating action. It seems like they're not.
Yeah, all you've really have done is dropped pings, which isn't terribly disruptive to the network. It's not like super invasive, so it doesn't seem to be terribly agitated at you yet. It's still a little concerned, but not. Yeah.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and use an action to. I'm going to execute Boost Amplify on Corvo.
Okay.
As they're going in for the breach and blast.
Boost Amplify, is that just a 1 in a 1-1-1?
Yep.
Okay, for targets.
No, it's 1-2. It's 1-2-4. So actually, I could do 2.
So from submersion, you can boost amplify 2 people.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I will boost. After seeing Oaken fly through the air, I will also boost Oaken. So I will boost. Let's see. What's the best one for blasting? Would that be dexterity?
For Corvo, yes, it would be dex. Yep.
And then Oaken probably strength.
Strength, I would imagine, for slashing.
Yep. Is that right?
Melee, yeah.
Strength. So I'll do that. I'll do knowing their expertise. I would know that ahead of time, sort of what my boost would be.
Increase your trace, and then Oaken, you have +1 to your strength attribute. Corvo, you have +1 to your dexterity attribute for the next 3 turns.
Now that was my action. I think I have a sub action still.
You do.
Are any of the drones in this room still functional? The one on the ceiling is still functional, right?
Yep. The one on the ceiling, its armor has been stripped from it, and it has light damage to its mechanical underbelly. The one out in the hallway still has armor, but has been damaged.
Yep, and that's the one that's like unhackable.
Yeah, that's that's definitely Weaver's baby.
Okay, I'm going to use a sub action to make contact with Octavius. Octavius, things are progressing here. Make sure you let me know if you run into any trouble.
Octavius had to step away.
Okay.
So Octavius responds and says, "Not a problem, just waiting for you guys."
Okay. Okay. Fair.
Over the commnet, Corvo, you hear Corvo calling for you to help unlock the EnviroPod if you've got access to its systems.
Yeah, I could try that. Let's see.
Use your data buddy to do it.
Yeah, I'm wondering if I can use let's see here.
A simple sub-action hack could try and open up.
Yeah,
the
let's do
environmental
that.
system.
Let's do that. Yep. $19.
Yep, Corvo, in front of you as you're running towards the environmental system, you see all the lights go green, and the door opens up.
Dessert.
And with that, Octavius continues to bunker down, just waiting for you guys to show up. And Gideon, can you make an awareness check for me?
I surely can. Nice. That is a 20.
Gideon, you hear the northern door, the western door from your position, so the one in front of you down the hallway. You hear it slide open and the thud of armored footsteps.
Right on. I haven't used my movement from last time, right?
You had to, so with the sniper rifle, you don't want to make anything more than a half movement. Otherwise,
That's right,
you take
yes.
penalties.
Yes. No, that's all good. Yep. I'll just get on the comms and be like, well, we got a visitor. Looks like things
That's
are
a
about
good
to
thing.
heat up. You know what I'm saying?
That's good. We want them to come to us so we can take them down. This plan is perfect.
It's perfect. It's working out exactly as planned.
Yeah,
Corvo, you're up.
Vern, you and I have
Corvo-
different ideas about what perfect means as he watches the drones
True.
get closer.
Corvo sees the door open and just like clocks Wyvern at the end of the environmental pod.
It's Weaver, not Wyvern.
Weaver.
Yep.
And as he does that, he says, "Wyvern, you get ready to take over those drones, mate, because they're about to not have a master." And Corvo's just going to walk down Weaver, unloading into the incredibly narrow environment that Weaver decided to lock themselves in.
As you enter into the pod, you can see her unconscious body just in like a makeshift seat, and you level the shotgun to her head.
I think at that point it'd be like walking all the way over and just resting the barrel on her forehead. There's no opportunity for a miss here.
Correct. Yeah, this is a coup de grace with a shotgun. Yep.
Wow.
And
Gonna repaint the environmental cube.
Gadoosh! And as you hear the
Oh
shotgun
no, it's
go,
silent.
Oh.
It's silent.
It's silent.
Oh yes, never mind. You're right. Gideon, all of a sudden you see the one on the roof. It doesn't fall. It just goes limp, but legs are still attached. And rounding the corner comes a spider drone, and then it leg is mid-air moving for the next foot, and it just stops.
Epic. Welcome in, Raiders. Welcome in, Forge of Lore.
welcome.
Thanks
Hey,
for
welcome
joining
in.
us. Things are getting spicy.
Seeing the drones drop, Gideon's going to be like, well, all right then. And he's going to move into the freight area.
Yep.
And basically just be like, all right, Vern, can you track Voltara and give me a ping? And
I'll try.
yeah, and
Yes.
as he does so, Gideon's going to drop to one knee and basically rack the sniper rifle and change out the ammo, and he's going to put in a wall breach around, like big chunky wall breaking rounds, and just look through the scope and wait for some movement to try and pop Voltara through a wall before Voltara gets in the room and sets it all on fire.
Okay. And so you start to take up position, aiming. Wyvern, before we come to you, you guys hear like a rolling coming down the hallway, and rolling to this point, a smoke grenade goes off. Let's see here.
Uh-oh.
That's fine. Gideon's looking through his scope and he's just like, nice try, pal.
Yeah. Your scope doesn't care too much about it. Oaken, smoke starts plummeting, pluming into the area over here. And Oaken, what are you doing?
I'm gonna back up 10 feet, and I'm going to convey to Corvo that a cigar has been lit and he needs to come put it out.
Have no fear, I'll be back as quick as I can. Just needed to take care of a spider.
And then while that's happening, I'm going to put my shirt over my mouth so that I don't get any of that in my face.
Sounds good. Yeah. And Wyvern, what are you doing?
All right, so am I able now to take over that badass drone in the hallway? Because that's kind of what I'm still feeling.
It is unoperated. Go ahead and make one more hacking check.
Yes, here we go. This is where shit gets real.
Yeah, get it, Wyvern.
22. Let's go.
22, yes. Wyvern, you are now remote operating the drone.
Okay.
I am going to...
Yeah. All right.
There we go. Okay, you can now move around the drone.
Oh yeah.
What would you like to do?
I want to. I am going to quote unquote ping Voltara for Corvo by blasting them with everything this
the sniper rifle. Okay, all right, not sniper rifle, the assault rifle. Go ahead and make a remote operations check.
Okay, all right, remote operations. Let me bring up my my character sheet here. This is under which attribute?
This would be under intelligence.
Yep, it's intelligence. Got it. Okay. Oops, that went off the table. Okay. That is going to be a 17. I do have edge dice if I need them.
Unfortunately, he's not quite around the corner. He dodges back around the corner. It was more than what you could get on an edge dice. He got a 22.
Yeah.
He dodges back just in time as the drone pivots around and shoots off the gun at him, and he narrowly, dodges back.
Did I do some epic damage to the train at least?
Yeah, the carpet is all torn up. And there's like
tearing
several
the carpet
bullet
up.
holes. Yeah. So you pepper the carpet. Definitely gonna. Well, it's not a civilian, so no hit to your income thus far. Wyvern, you pick up a communication. Oh no, it wasn't this. You have your what's the program? Eavesdrop. Is that still active in the first car? You're muted, by the way. Did you maintain that one in the first car?
Yes, I have that, and
Okay.
I have trap backdoor still running.
You pick up a call from Voltara to Bishop. It's like, yeah, Bishop, I think I'm gonna need you.
I will relay that to my companions. The bishop is on their way as well. Let's have some fun.
Let's make it a real chess game.
And we come back to Corvo. So at this point, we are about 2 turns into the tunnel, but the train has slowed. You're not exactly sure how much time it has bought you, but certainly it's going to be more than the 20-ish turns that you guys have to complete. Corvo, what are you doing?
I'm just going to make a run check because the game is get up to a point where I can put rounds down range. Which means that it is just a straight strength roll. Exciting times. It is disappointing. But that's another 15 feet, so that's 45 feet total.
45 feet. That could get you, over to, right there. Go ahead and just make a jumping check for me. And remember your thunder thighs as you come leaping over these crates in the middle of the area, so you can just make a direct run.
Yep. Give me 1 second. I just need to double check. Yep. So that would be. Oh, nice. There we go. 12.
All right. Okay, and you just hear the thudding steps of Corvo with his gear, and he just like 1 foot onto the crates here, and then lunges over the stack of crates as he goes booking it for the doorway. Shotgun ready and loaded. Shield out in front of him. And Gideon. I have placed another Gideon, which is your scope. And so if you look around the corner, you can see the back of Voltara up against the wall as he had just dodged back from the assault rifle fire. You're muted, mate.
Mute.
As Corvo runs past
every
me,
time.
every time. As Corvo runs past me, I will let him know. I'll say, "All right, big man, he's just around the corner. Let me see if I can flush him out." And I will basically line him up through that wall, and I'm just gonna shoot him in the back.
Aiming any particular body segment, or just a straight up shot?
I mean,
The reason I ask
does he
is
have really volatile fuel packs on his back?
Yes, he does. At least one.
I'm gonna see if I can try and puncture one of those.
Okay, you'll be -5 to hit, but he is unaware of the shot coming, so he's also taking a penalty.
Cool. All right.
And I didn't roll great, so that is what people usually like to hear.
Oh, I, however, rolled quite well. That will be a 24.
24. Let me look at his character sheet real quickly.
Yeah, go for it.
I need to see what his dodge is. If you edge dice and get a 2, you critically succeed.
Oh, edge dice, you say. Very well. All right, come on. That's a 4.
Oh, all right. The sniper round just punches straight through the armored wall and straight into the fuel pack on his upper torso. So as it hits the fuel pack, it actually pierces straight through the fuel pack, igniting the flame of his backpack, and then hitting into him. So that's 7 damage, and then his backpack explodes. From behind him. Oh, poor guy.
I think we just went loud.
Yeah. This was.
I was just gonna say, if they didn't know we were here, they do now.
Yep.
No, that very much depends
rifle.
on whether or not they can hear through the doors between compartments.
What's the pierce on the sniper rifle?
The sniper rifle is... I don't think the sniper rifle has pierce, actually.
It doesn't have pierce, okay.
Let me check I think the rounds...
Check the wall breaker, but I think if you shoot through a wall, it loses the pierce tag because it's using the pierce to break through the wall before impact. I just wanted to double check.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it... Where on earth are they? It doesn't say that they have pierce, actually. It just... I mean, I imagine they would
just
because
shoot through the wall.
Yeah.
That's totally fine. This is doing some major damage. So next, can I have you roll a d8 for a random direction for me, Gideon?
Yes, indeed. 7.
A 7. 7 means he goes in. Okay, so he blasts forward and then pings off of the wall out through the doorway here breaks. Like he goes blasting through, like rockets through the sliding door, and then pings, and you're not quite sure what has happened after that. However, you have clear vision of just his entire back armor exploding out, flames leaping out all around, and he goes rocketing through the doorway. That was a very effective shot. And so to remind you, what you did was 7 damage, but because it's a critical hit, it's plus 50% damage rounded up. So that was 11 damage to his back before the explosion. So you just did pretty insane damage.
Nice.
Pretty insane.
Yeah. Gideon's just gonna like blow away some of the smoke from his face and just be like, hot enough for you, pal? But,
Okay,
yeah,
what are
that's
you
his
doing?
turn.
First of all, I'd like to say to the 2 boys in front of me, my heroes. Not really. I'm waiting for Bishop because he likes my kind of style, which is hand to hand. But I'm wondering, and I put this out to the group, do we move forward and approach him with a united front? How do you want to do this?
Well, we gotta get this box. We gotta get this box to Octavius.
Exactly. Yep,
Yeah.
we got to get to Octavius.
Okay, so then I'm gonna move, and yeah, that's all. 1, 2. Covering my nose still, I'm gonna get out of the room.
Okay. And as you move, as the 3 of you move out in through the smoke of the hallway, as you make your way towards the freight car, Weaver is dead. And Voltara is, if not dead, in bad shape. Wyvern, is there any last thing you want to do?
Can I? Yeah, I think I would try to gather intel off of Weaver if there's got to be some elements
little bit
of
of brain
Weaver
left.
still left somewhere. Either through their gear, their rig, maybe.
What are you looking for exactly?
Access codes to
Something-
their drones.
Yeah, well, yeah, we have access to the drones, but yeah, I guess maybe just everything. I mean, just like downloading like whatever I can quickly take, without having to like sift through it. I don't want to take time to look through stuff.
Yeah.
But
Go ahead and make a hacking check.
17 total with an edge die.
Okay. Yeah, you find she actually had an Omnian console, cybernetic, on her arm, and you find there's some data uploaded onto it. Mainly, there's a mission debrief. There's Harper Kane. Then there's a second one, which is Apex Security's mission debrief for the R&D facility.
Mm-hmm.
And most notably, the title is, or like the primary objective, by all means, ensure no squad operating under Tartarus gains infiltration to the R&D facility. And with that, we will end tonight's session as we hunt down the other 2 Apex security members on the train next time we come together.
As Corvo, Oaken, and Gideon slowly emerge from the smoke.
Yeah.
Marching down the train car. I mean, what are the people gonna think when they look back and see this squad?
They're gonna know it's business time.
Yeah, it's business time. Hell yeah.
Thank you everybody for joining us. I hope you had fun as our heist got off to a little bit of a tumble, but then gracefully into a full-on assault. We are deep in the tunnel system, roughly probably a good 20 turns that they have to operate and pull off the last 2 apex predators before they emerge, and things are getting interesting. There are signals coming from deep in plunge space. His name Tartarus keeps on surfacing, and Octavius has very strangely is finding he has actual biological access to the very elusive now I'm blanking on his name.
The Kane.
Harper. Yeah, the Kane faction. Bryson even. His handprint registered as Bryson Kane, which would be Harper Kane's father. Things are getting interesting. So join us next time, next Wednesday, as we try to finish off the last 2 Apex security units and figure out the plan for the R&D facility.
Very cool. Very cool. Paul, thank you so much. You guys, this plan went according to plan, basically. Let chaos reign.
Yeah, completely without a hitch. Absolutely fine.
Oh my God. Thank you so much. Let's go around the virtual tabletop here and have folks, again, reintroduce yourself. We had a bunch of raiders come in. So thank you, raiders. You want to know these people because they're beautiful humans, great folks, and very talented role players and in other aspects of their lives. So let's start. We'll start with Tara this time, going back.
Hey everybody, my name's Tara. I play Oak and May. You can find me on any of the socials as Your Know Me or Your Know Me Too. It's a long story. Ask for it later. And thank you for watching. I just hope that this continues to go as planned.
Yep, as planned. Thank you so much. I absolutely love George Michael. So whatever happens, it's all George Michael is high priority in this thing. Thank you so much, Nomi, for bringing that little guy into this world. Let's go next to Josh.
Hey guys, I'm Josh. I've been Corvo tonight. I'm a huge geek. Very much enjoying being part of the Guild Superior experience and all of the excellent work that the channel's been putting in on behalf of the Red Cross in particular tonight, but all of their charitable efforts in other arenas. Find me online if you feel like it. I'm not massively interesting, but let's see how the last 2 Apex Predators go. We've got a couple other loose threads to tie up as well. Next week should be exciting.
Indeed, it will. Alan, let's go to you, sir.
You betcha. Hi, I'm Alan Henry. I'm a thoroughly strange person. Josh is indeed massive and a nerd, so
and interesting.
It tracks, and he is interesting. Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. No, I am a very strange performance capture artist / tabletop role-playing game, video game playing nerd. You can find me on Blue Sky at Alan Henry Official. In mid-February, February 14 to 16, I will be in person at Pensacon in Pensacola, Florida. So if you're there, stop on by and say hi. We can talk about nerdy things. And if anyone is in LA the few days after Pensacon, I'll be in LA working with a dear friend of mine, TJ Storm, teaching some performance capture movement character stuff. In about a month or so, there's possibility that we'll be back in Guild Superior land for another game. But I'm looking forward to next week to see what kind of ridiculous shenanigans these Eidolons can get up to. I'm sure it's going to be fine. Absolutely fine. Yeah.
It always seems to find a way, for better, for worse. Thank you so much, Alan. Looking forward to more games with you, my friend. Paul, again, just super stoked that you're running this game here, and I'm having a freaking blast. I've been playing Wyvern, a net diver, which I was super nervous about playing them because there's just a lot to a net diver, but it's so much fun. So if you're out there and you're reading through the information or thinking about playing this game, net diver, I highly recommend. Be happy to chat with you about that if you're interested. And a great way to do that is to come over to our Discord and hang out with us. Paul hangs out there. These other two fellas hang out there. There's a bunch of great people there. So Paul, tell us where we can learn more about House of Eidolons.
Yeah, Eidolonsrpg.com is our website. You can certainly go there. We have a Patreon. We have some free starter map there that you can get. I'll be releasing a lot of these maps. I'll be releasing on our Patreon in the nearish future. It's been on my to-do list. We're getting a better version of the book out, getting art done. We're about to start art on our Scion. You can check out our EOD Paladin and Disco Bard art, thanks to the very talented Joe. I'm going to butcher his last name, though it's Italian. I should know it because I too am Italian. But
it's an Italian thing, yeah.
There it is, yeah. Catapano. He's amazing. Okay, Catapano. I get it right?
Yep.
I think I got it
right. Yep.
Close enough. Anyways, he's awesome. He does cyberpunk art. Check out his stuff. Yeah, and then I'm just Penburrow on Discord. If you jump on the channel, Penburrow on Instagram. Come say hi. Always love to talk.
I can vouch for that. Paul does like to talk, and it's always fun late night BSing in the Discord about anything and everything. So I appreciate you very much, Paul. We are going to go ahead and raid into our friends at Live from the Apocalypse. So stick around. We're gonna go to the end screen, but just hang out for another couple of seconds. We'll get the raid started. I just want to say a big shout out to our producer Gunvald for pushing the buttons and turning the dials to help make this happen, and also a shout out to our team at Guild Superior, the production team who helps to organize games, schedule games, promote games with trailers and social media stuff. You know, that's people like Shiv and Flea Monkey, Andy G, 3D. We've got an awesome Discord-based monthly gaming opportunities that's being set up and run by Alex. So just a lot of great stuff going on. I'm going to put the Discord link back in there, but come on over and hang out with us. We've got a lot of great people who are very passionate about creativity, and if you're into creativity and TTRPGs, you'll fit right in. So thank you everybody for being here. We'll see you. We'll see you Saturday, because Saturday Guild Superior has got a giant problem, and that's the name of the game that we're playing on Saturday, 12 p.m. Central. We'll see you then.